Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are cracking the code on the consumer. We're going to dive into why figuring out what makes people buy, or, not buy, is pretty much the most important part of any marketing strategy out there.
All right, let's jump right in with a question that I guarantee keeps a lot of executives up at night. Why do so many new products, even from these huge successful brands, end up in the graveyard of good ideas?
It's just a tough reality of the marketplace, isn't it? I mean, companies pour millions and millions into R&D, into these massive launch campaigns, only to watch their big, shiny new idea just, poof, vanish from the shelves.
Remember any of these? From the truly bizarre, like Colgate deciding to sell frozen dinners, to these high-profile flameouts like New Coke. History is just littered with them. And you gotta ask, right? They had the money, the brand name, everything. Except, it turns out, the one thing that actually mattered.
And look, this isn't just about a few funny examples. The data shows the failure rate for new products is absolutely staggering. I mean, depending on the category, you're looking at anywhere from a third to a shocking 90%. So what is going on here? What's the missing piece of the puzzle?
And here it is. This is the core insight. Success, more often than not, doesn't come from just building a better mousetrap. It comes from deeply, truly understanding the people you're trying to reach. The secret isn't in the product, it's in the person. And that really brings us to what we call the modern marketing philosophy. It's a total shift in thinking. So instead of starting with, okay, how can we sell this thing we made? The question becomes, what problem does our customer actually have, and how can we solve it better than anybody else? It's all about being customer-centric.
So if being customer-centric is the name of the game, where do you even start? Well, first, we've got to understand what makes a consumer tick. What are all the different forces that are pulling and pushing them when they make a decision?
You see, consumer behavior isn't just some random impulse. Every single choice is influenced by this really complex mix of 5 key factors. You've got psychological, social, cultural, personal, and economic forces all at play. Every single one of them has a say in that final decision to buy, or to walk away. Now, let's zoom in on the psychological stuff for a second, because this is where things get really fascinating. These are the internal drivers, right? How someone sees the world, what actually motivates them, all their past experiences, their deep-seated beliefs. This is where you find the real why behind what they do.
Okay, so once you start to get a handle on those influences, you can finally stop just sort of shouting into the void and start having actual conversations. And the first step is to take that huge, broad market and break it down into smaller, more manageable groups.
And that process, that's what we call market segmentation. It is, without a doubt, the foundation of any smart marketing plan. You just can't be everything to everyone, right? So segmentation helps you figure out, okay, who are the people we can serve best?
Let's make this real with a super simple, everyday example. A washing machine. A really smart retailer realized that the person buying this appliance, well, they're not all the same, not by a long shot.
So instead of just one generic washing machine buyer, they spotted at least 3 really different groups. And each one had totally different needs, different priorities, and of course, different budgets. You just wouldn't talk to a rural family the same way you talk to a young professional in a downtown condo.
So when you break it down like this, the strategy just clicks into place, right? For the low-income rural customers who are really focused on price and just getting the job done, manual machines were perfect. Middle-class families? They needed that balance of features and price, so semi-automatics were the sweet spot. And for the high-income pros, convenience was everything, so fully automatic models. That, right there, is segmentation in action.
Okay, so you found your audience. Awesome. But that's only half the battle. Now you have to craft a message that actually resonates with them and positions your brand in their mind in just the right way.
This is where the magic really starts to happen. See, the best marketing doesn't just sell you a list of features. It sells a feeling, an identity. It sells you a better version of yourself. It taps directly into your aspirations.
I mean, just look at Nike's incredible Find Your Greatness campaign. They were smart. They knew their real audience wasn't just a handful of pro athletes, it's all of us, everyday people who aspire to push our own limits. The message was just so powerful because it wasn't about being the best in the world. It was about finding your personal best. And this strategy also works for repositioning a product that's already on the shelf, like what Johnson & Johnson did so brilliantly. They had this trusted product for babies, right? But they saw a whole new opportunity. By targeting adults, shifting the message to be about gentleness and a natural look, and just tweaking the packaging, they gave their baby products a whole second life with a brand new audience.
And now for the final piece of the puzzle. And honestly, it might be the most important one. It's one thing to get someone to buy from you once. It is another thing entirely to turn them into a customer for life.
And believe me, there is a huge difference. Getting a new customer is transactional. You have to guide them. It costs a lot of money to get them in the door. But a loyal customer, that's relational. They give you feedback, they keep coming back, and maybe most importantly, they become your best salespeople through word of mouth.
And the value of that loyalty is, well, it's kind of mind-blowing, actually. Your most loyal customers might make up less than 20% of your total customer base, but they can be responsible for the vast majority of your revenue. Focusing on keeping customers happy isn't just good service, it's incredibly smart business.
And this is a perfect example of how brands build that loyalty today. It's not just about a paper punch card anymore. Modern programs reward you for all kinds of engagement, for creating an account, for following them on social media, writing a review, even for your birthday. It makes you feel valued for being part of the community, not just for spending money.
So what's the one thread that ties all of this together? From figuring out who your audience is, to crafting the right message, to building that lasting loyalty, it all starts with a deep, empathetic understanding of the consumer. It all comes back to answering that one simple question, why?
So that leaves us with one last thought to chew on. Every brand, every single product out there tells a story. The most important question you can ask is, who is that story really for? And what do they truly want to hear? Thanks for digging into this with me.